In the race for the White House, the winner is determined not by the candidate who wins the most votes nationally, but by the results of 51 individual state and territory contests. For months, both campaigns have been hyper-focused on just a handful of states, where the rallies are held most often.
We love Pennsylvania.
Georgia.
Beautiful North Carolina.
Good to be back in Pennsylvania.
And where the vast advertising spends are being concentrated.
Trump will always choose Putin over the American people.
America doesn't need another TikTok performer.
Each state carries a certain number of votes in the Electoral College, depending mainly on their population. In nearly every state, the candidate who comes first takes all the state's Electoral College votes. And the president is the candidate that wins a majority of the National Electoral College, which is 270. And just like Australia has safe seats, the US has a list of safe states. Many states just aren't that competitive, like here in California. In 2020, about 2/3 of Californians voted for Joe Biden. And the share of the vote going to the Democrats, it's only been increasing over time. The Republicans haven't won this state since 1988, and no one expects that to change this year. And that's just one of a long list of states that are regarded as reliably in the Democrats' column at presidential elections. And the Republicans, well, they have a list of states they can rely on as well. Here in Alabama, the 2020 result was roughly the opposite of that in California.
I just want to thank the people of Alabama.
And this state, it's been reliably red for even longer. And like the Democrats, there's a list of states that are going to vote Republican no matter what. The safest blue states are on the West Coast and in the Northeast, while Republican heartland runs through the centre of the country. There are relatively few states that are genuinely competitive. Some of the closest are in the Northeast, in a group of states often called the Rust Belt. That includes Michigan, Wisconsin, and this one, Pennsylvania, which has voted for the overall winning candidate in 10 of the last 12 elections. These three states were crucial to delivering Donald Trump the White House in 2016 and taking it away from him 4 years later. The other group of states we'll be watching very closely are in what's often called the Sun Belt. There's Arizona and Nevada out west. Those states voted for Joe Biden in 2020, and also Georgia, which was extraordinarily close and became a focal point of the Trump campaign's efforts to overturn the election. The state of the electoral map means that voters in different parts of the country have experienced this campaign in very different ways. Voters in the safest states have had less advertising, fewer door knockers, and generally have just been able to pay less attention to this election, while voters in the most competitive seats are probably ready for this whole thing to end.